board. Ruby's in the board. Great. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's fine, man. That's fine. You could be from
I do live here.
Yeah, you can be. Yeah, man. You know, I like that accent.
Hey guys, welcome to the Rad Dudecast. My name is Brendan Ayer. I'm with Anthony DeVito and Greg Stone. We got some news. I don't know if all of you are going to be super happy about it. It's kind of a new promotional thing. A lot of podcasts are doing it. I actually didn't even run it by Greg and Anthony. I just signed on. We now have a sister podcast, and the way that works is you trade episodes a little bit. You let them take over a podcast takeover, and they come in, they take over your podcast. We're doing the same on their podcast, and hopefully we get some viewer crossover. So I hate to do this to you guys. I know you love to you love us, you love our podcast, that's why you tune in, but I think you're gonna hopefully like these guys just as much. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to it says here the Picadillo, Texas Cattle Livestock and General Scuttlebutt Roundup podcast. Take it away, boys. Hello, I'm Ellis. My name is Ellis, Squirt, McGirt, and they just call me Squirt because it rhymes with my last name. There's nothing embarrassing that happened. Now, anyway, you're listening to the Picadillo, Texas Cattle Livestock and General Scuttlebutt Roundup podcast. I'm joined, of course, by my two main hombres, two just solid fellas. If you would go ahead and introduce yourselves, gentlemen, I think that is standard protocol on this new type of fangled technology cast.
Thank you, Squirt. It's me, Hank Watson, part-time storm chaser. I'm out there any hour of the night chasing those NATOs and those thunderstorms till dustfall.
Now that I always love having you on, Hank, and one thing I find fascinating about you is you're a very educated man when it comes to the weather, but yet you still seem to pronounce it thunderstorm. Now, is that a technical scientific term, or is that just some sort of problem you have? Because as far as I know, they were thunderstorms.
Well, I find it's best to denigrate and insult the storm itself to get a jump on it.
Now that
you see what I mean?
I see exactly what you mean, and that is something that do I feel like I got my boot in my mouth after calling you out over something that obviously is in your own realm of expertise, and I should have kept my darn mouth shut when it came to it, because that makes a perfect girl darn sense. Now, and then of course,
now hang on a minute, Squirt. I don't like you getting down on yourself, so I'm not fortunate to hear that talk anymore on the podcast. I want you to repeat your mantra every time that you get a little down on yourself.
Squirt, you are not called Squirt because you are short. It's just because it rhymes with your last name, McGirt. You are as worthy as the next man to be alive in this world.
There you go, Squirt. Affirmations.
Thank you. Now, of course, we're joined by another illustrious co-host and a good close friend of ours, of Hank and myself. Please introduce yourself to the listeners.
Can y'all change your names in the screen? Because The listeners ain't gonna know who you is. My name's Southern Jackson, and y'all know me because I go around town getting shit done. End of story. This Southern enough for you? Does anyone have any questions for me? Oh, we all got distracted typing our names into the computer screen. Makes a lot of sense. I did ask for it. I did. You reap what you sow. Reap what you sow. I don't know if you know what that means. That means you grab a blanket and you. I don't know what it means. I'm just talking. Now, does anyone remember my name?
Of course, I remember your name, Southern
Jackson. You're going to be screaming it later.
Yeah, now
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Squirt. In what capacity did you think we'd be screaming your name, Southern?
When I'm in your home, and you're saying, "Get out of my home," because I just invite Southern hospitality. I invite myself in. I just come right in, and I like to look at people's little trinkets they have, and I put them in better places. And I like to reorganize their homes. Southern Jackson, Southern hospitality. You're going to be screaming my name. Get out of my house, Southern Jackson.
Well, and that's the kind of thing I like we hear on the Picadillo, Texas Cattle, Livestock, and General Scuttlebutt Roundup podcast like to bring to the greater audiences of America. If you're living in a big old city, say Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or even Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of these big old cities, you're not going to understand. When you're in a place like Picadillo, Texas, you all got its population 672. So when you got your rabble rouser like Southern Jackson, you take it as it comes. Sometimes
I don't rouse nothing. I just go into a home and I'll reorganize it to make things more feng shui. I'm the third hottest decorator under Nate Burkus and Chip and Joanna. Then it's me. It's Chip. They count as one. Don't interrupt me.
I'm not.
Don't interrupt me.
I agree 100%.
It's green balloons. So.
Nate Burkus. Then it's Chip and Joanna, and then it's Southern Jackson walking in. No one invited me.
Well, yeah. And I
don't interrupt me.
I thought you were done. It did seem as if you were done. And I would like to apologize and please continue.
Southerners talk slower. You have to let me get my words out.
And now
don't interrupt me.
God damn it, mate.
God darn, it's tough with Southern Jackson to know when he's finished, but he is right. We do talk a little slower down here.
He's an off-kilter kind of rhythm when he talks. It's kind of like listening to jazz.
He's the
Can
jazz.
I finish what I was saying?
I mean, for Christ's sakes, was that part of the sentence, Southern?
Yeah, I'd like to take in the South, we go slow. We ain't no hip hop New Yorkers running from train, wearing masks. No, we take our time here.
Is there
not interrupt me?
Is there some sort of signal you can give when you are finished? Maybe some type of code word where we can know when it is time to address what you have said.
Now, use your Southern heart to understand when a man is done talking. You know what I mean? I'm just out here trying to explain who I am.
Well, I'm not.
God damn it!
Well, let me just say to you, Southern.
Be next to impossible for upwards of an hour.
Let me just say to you, Southern. And I do apologize. When I said rabble rousing, what I meant for the people was, these are these big city slickers. Someone comes into the house, they reorganize. These guys, these old boys are calling the police. They're getting all up in arms. Down here in Picadillo, Texas, we come into our home. I see my couch misaligned. I see my cowboy hat rack over on the other side of the wall. I say, well, Southern Jackson's been here again, and I tell you what, I do, in fact, like this better. I do, in fact, think he did a fantastic job. Ain't nothing wrong with a man coming into another man's house and improving the feng shui.
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead,
Southern,
Hank.
thank you, Southern. Thank you very much for adoring me the floor. Now, I do understand you've got yourself in a bit of legal trouble in terms of breaking and entering into people's homes and redecorating their lots without permission, and you proclaiming in front of a judge that it was feng shui.
Right. Yes. This is see, I am in the next level of decorating, right? So some people, when they're coming to your house, they'll look at a couch and they'll aim it towards the windows so the sun could come in and beat on your face. I'll place things in your house in such places that you never saw coming, a little bit further away, not down so much to the other side of the room, but I'll take your TV and I'll put it in my house. You know what I mean?
Well, Southern, that sounds an awful lot to me like a robbery.
No, it's extreme feng shui.
I see.
Yeah, it's different, but people are different down south. You know, we have a different way about us. You know what I mean?
Of course, I know what you mean, and that's right. And you know, I in fact attended.
I wasn't finished. Just go
My
on
God.
now. Go on now. I'm sorry. You know, Ellis, you go right ahead. I'll just have to take it.
I guess I don't mean no offense, and
I'm sorry. Once again, that is another problematic statement from Southern Jackson.
What?
You're just gonna have to take it.
Yeah, I take a lot. I take a lot. People try to cancel me in my own town. They don't do it like they do in the North. You know, in the North, they'll go on your websites and tell you, fuck yourself, you know? But here in the South, we just draw pictures of people and staple them to old wooden poles and say, don't look at this man and don't wave to him. He is canceled. The South.
now I got a mind
I was
to tell
finished.
you.
I was finished. I just want to interrupt you to say that I was finished there.
No, I got mine to tell you. I do think it is them Hanson boys that have been writing them flyers and tacking them up around town. I do believe it's at Craig Hanson and his no good brother Billy Bob trying to cancel you. And I've been running an anti-cancel campaign. I say you need Southern Jackson's services in your home. Your home is not feng shui. Your pH balance is going to be off. You know, if so what I've been doing is I've been saying, yeah. Sometimes he does take your couch, put it into his home. But you know what? There's a better view from there. So you tell me who's guilty, yourself or Southern Jackson. Now,
also, you can always use your couch. Just come on over to my house, lay in it. The door is I don't even have a door anymore. I just took that thing right off the hinges and said, everyone come in, even bugs and sun and water and rain. No door.
So Southern, what you're proposing is an egalitarian sort of style of living where it's everybody's home. It's not just your home.
Yeah, we take the town I live in, which is Northern Rock Belt.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm just Northern Rock Belt, and we wall off the town, and everyone in the town is everyone's home. So you got to count. You know what I mean? So it's to be a billionaire, you have to own a mansion, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For us, for the Southerners, we just take the whole town, and that's everybody's everything. Your men are you, your women are yours, your things are mine, my things are yours, and we just all share. You know, ain't that what Southern hospitality is truly all about?
Well, absolutely.
That was a rhetorical question.
I mean, my word.
Well, it's been the talk of Picadillo. I'll tell you that much. That they say up there in North Rockbelt, they're doing a walled, every man's house is another man's house system, and we've been trying now, Hank. In your storm chasing, when you're going after these NATOs, you're going after these thunderstorms. Are you of course that takes you. Now I've never been outside of Picadillo, never want to. I in fact wanted to go see my close friend Southern Jackson in North Rockbelt. That's 3 miles away. I said, I can't do it. You got to come meet me here. I can't get out. I don't leave this town. But you, of course, Hank, you've been all over this territory. Now, are you seeing anyone else doing what Southern Jackson has proposed in North Rockbelt? What kind of living situations are going on outside of Picadillo?
Well, outside of Picadillo, I've mainly seen your normal style of living. I haven't really seen too many towns walled off as to be protected from the outside world. I really haven't found that outside of the days of feudalism. But
it is original. It is original, yes.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Southern and what it's doing. It's such a competitive field. You've got Chip and Joanna. You've got Nate Burkus.
Nate Burkus.
Nate Burkus. And so for Southern to really make a mark in the world of interior decorating, he had to do something drastic to get on the news. So I applaud his measures in sort of entering into a difficult field.
Thank you. I like to say thank you, Hank Jackson. And I'd like to thank you for all your storm chasing. The other week, we had a storm, and I knew it was coming. You know, I had put on the news, and it said storm's coming. And I said, that must be Hank must have called them, right?
I text everybody on my phone. That's what if you sign up for Hank Watson's Storm Chaser service, you'll get daily updates in terms of when a storm might be coming near you, and sometimes my thoughts when I'm lonely.
Oh, that's what I'd like to hear about, because I got a few odd texts that I wasn't sure about, right? Because I had gotten the storm text that was like, because the thing, I would say a little weird, maybe you can add on this. You do storm chasing, so you tend to tell us where the storm is after it hits, which it's a new, you know, it's a way to do it, because you're chasing it.
Exactly. I guess I do more storm recaps than I chase them. I guess your Siskel and your Ebert, but for NATO's and Dundas.
Well,
we got it.
I will say, I do think it is going to help tremendously, because I know you've been trying to get a truck. And I do think that will help tremendously, because the bicycle system you are currently working under is posing some problems in terms of actually catching the NATOs and the thunderstorms.
Yeah, they're faster than you think. Much faster. Faster than my mongoose bike can certainly pedal up to.
Also, you have it's like a BM, it's like a mongoose. It's got like pegs for grinding. You might want to get like a 10-speed or some kind of, you know, it's like you got like the slowest bike for that kind of thing.
Well, sure, but I also, you know, I don't want to look like a dork.
Exactly. Right? Exactly.
That's what it all comes down to. We all know that.
With a basket?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You need pegs on both sides and shin guards.
Well, you got to have the shin guards. I mean, you can't be too careful out there. Can you picture me in a beach cruiser out here in Lubbock, Texas, in the middle of a desert, like a straw-haired, blonde California girl named Alicia or something of that nature?
Ain't the Northwest. You come around chasing a storm and some dumbass beach cruiser, I'm going to go, who's that girl? Who's that girl? I'm going to have sex with that girl. And then I walk over, it's Hank. Now I got to have sex with Hank. He come around in a beach cruiser.
Exactly. It presents itself an awkward conversation for two friends.
Yeah.
Now, Squirt.
Yeah.
What do you have for breakfast?
Well, I tell you, I have about the same thing every morning. I have a couple of flappy jacks. I have myself a couple of flappy jacks and a nice tall liter. I have a 4 liter of milk fresh from the cow's udder, and that's what I have every morning. And that has served me well. Now, what we got to get into.
Wait, are we not going to ask everybody about breakfast?
Well, I'll get to your breakfast, but we got some big news items.
Sure, let's get to them after we do the breakfast roundup as I was promised.
You're absolutely right, Southern. You're absolutely right. Hank, go ahead and ask him about his breakfast.
Now, Southern, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Great question. Glad you asked. I had 2 hard-boiled eggs or some fresh toast that I got from old Jimmy Nuno's toaster. You know, it's in my house now, so I toasted it. That's it. Or as they say, that's it. Wait, how they say it? That's it.
It's hard to know. It's traveled so far down to this area that it's been all rambled up.
Y'all don't know Maritza?
You're talking about the popular Latina woman.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sure. I've seen it. Confusing to the eye.
But not just the eye, my friend. Confusing to many parts of the body.
That's true.
Not so confusing to me. Pretty cut and dry.
Now, what's that? What's the pretty cut and dry part, sir?
Oh, I just see her riding around on a beach cruiser. I'm going to chase after her. Like a storm chaser, but after a female. And then I'm going to grab her and I'm going to say, you want to go on a date with me? And she can go, that's right, I do. That's it. We've been out a few times, me and her. Did you know that? Jackson?
I did not know that. No.
Did not know that.
Now you know.
Now I know. Now, Hank,
Hank,
what'd you have for breakfast?
Oh, I had a bit of cowboy omelet for myself. 6 eggs and a strip of bacon.
That is a nice breakfast.
Southern, can I say this about Southern Jackson? I love a man that reinforces how from the South he is to 2 other boys from the South.
Yeah, we the Southest. Would we just sit here talking about how South is the best?
Yeah, that's right. Now,
you ever fight a snake? Sorry.
We ever fight a snake? You're trying to come on this podcast and ask 2 of your closest friends you know your whole damn life if we've ever fought a snake. Ask me how many days I haven't fought a snake.
How many days haven't you fought a snake?
I don't know, about most of them. I fought a snake about 6 or 7 times. But you do, living down here, you're going to fight a rattlesnake. That's just a part of life. I don't know many that haven't. Now, what I like.
I'm sorry, Squirt. Can we go back 1 second in the dirt?
It's Southern. We take our time.
Yeah, that's right, Southern. Now, what
Southern Jack?
That's absolutely right.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. By all means. Now, what counts as a fight? What counts as a scuffle? And what counts as an argument with a snake?
Well, that's a fantastic question. I'd be darn proud if Jackson could, Southern Jackson could see if he agrees or disagrees with me. I've always seen a snake fight, a good proper snake fight now, to be mano-y-mano, just you and the snake, no implements involved now. No implements involved. That means I'm not using my shotgun. I'm not using my garden hoe. I'm not using my lasso. I'm not using my Bowie knife. I'm not using my wife. I'm not using none of that. It's just hands against the hands. Now, the snake don't have hands, but that's a saying. It's one-on-one, no implements involved to the death. What I find, my technique is I get him by the tail and I swing him around. I swing him over my head like a helicopter. Now, I never seen one of them helicopters down here, but I seen them in that TV show MASH. I swing them around until I start to feel my feet get light. That means I'm swinging it fast enough that I'm about to take off. And that's when I whip it. And I whip him against a tree till his head explodes. And I consider that a fight. Now, a scuffle is a different matter. A scuffle is when you see a snake. A snake's on your property. You see him, but you don't hate him. You say this old snake, he all right. I ain't going to kill this snake. I'm going to drive him off. But I got to do it. It's gonna get dirty, and this is when you get into you start insulting him. You start making him feel uncomfortable.
Sure.
You start saying, "I seen a snake around here about last week, about 2 feet longer than you." And he starts looking around, saying, "Are you talking to me?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm talking to you, you old short boy." And you start getting his head. Like you say, "You call those fangs? I call those wisdom teeth. They don't look sharp, nothing." And he gets all in his head, thinking the self-esteem dropping down. He said, "I better get off this property for this boy taking me down a notch." Now, Jackson, what's your personal feelings regarding a snake fight versus snake scuffle?
Now, I hate to do a lateral move here. I don't really like to fight snakes so much. What I'll do is dig a 6-foot moat around my house and then fill that sucker up with up to 2,000 snakes so that when people start coming back over being like, "My couch, I want to use my couch in your house," I say, "Of course. Just crawl past the snake moat and you got it." Because a snake moat is extreme feng shui, okay? You need to be living, you need to have some kind of cost, you know what I mean? Some kind of like danger in your life. And it keeps people from taking their shit back from my house. Southern life.
Now,
I wasn't finished, but
I had a feeling.
yeah, I think I was about done. You right to go now.
well, now, the only thing I would like to bring up, because I do understand that in order to live your best life, to enjoy feng shui to the fullest, it involves some risk. You gotta take that risk, and whether that be a 2,000 snake filled moat or maybe a hang gliding. I don't know. We don't got none of that. Too flat for that around here. But you did earlier mention, and this did come up in the court case, that anyone whose couch you took was more than welcome to come walk through your empty front door and sit in their couch.
Of course. Door's always open.
But now you're adding in a 2,000 snake-filled moat. That seems to be a bit more of a, and God
Just get past the
forbid.
snakes and your things are yours.
Now,
What's mine is yours. Come right on in is what I say. But I also love the comfort of a snake moat. So, can't both exist?
well, I suppose they can, sir. I suppose they can. And I don't, I do want to do a quick plug. If you're feeling like your living situation is just drab, if you're feeling like same old, this old tan paint on my living room and my couch, I'm in here the same day, well, then you need to hit up. Now, what's the name of your business again, Southern?
Southern Jack, son, fashion for your house.
You need to hit up Southern Jack Son Fashion for your house.com.
Remember the hyphen in between Jack and son. My name isn't Jackson. It's Jack, son, like the earth that is on fire.
Yes, it's very important.
Wow, what an extraordinary detail that.
Southern Jack.
It is very important that it's spelled Jack-SUN. And also, I think we can all agree that is the most accurate description of the sun. That is the earth on fire.
The fire earth.
The fire
that we
earth.
pray to. Capital S, lowercase j, capital S. Southern Jack, son, representing the fiery earth that we pray to every night.
That's right. Now,
I'm sorry, I was still talking.
I
You
did
go
not
right
know
ahead,
that, and no, I defer.
My God.
I defer the floor to Southern. I would like to defer the floor to Southern, and I just want to say to you, it is not my intent to cut you off. You are a very difficult man to interpret speech pattern wise, and I don't hold that against you. In fact, I think that's part of your flair. Now, I just want
to take my time when to talk. It's the Southern way. We ain't Yankees up here talking fast, wearing masks, believing in the virus, not supporting the rights of raccoons.
Well, that is
I like
true.
raccoons.
Oh, boy.
Now,
Them
Hank,
raccoons deserve to get married like everybody else.
Yeah, but only the other raccoons. They also, I don't think a raccoon should be married to like a poodle or something like that. That ain't the God's way.
No, that's goes against the Bible.
Yeah,
Well,
and the raccoon Bible, of course.
it's
Well, of
interesting. It's interesting you bring up poodles, because that gets me into our next segment, local news. Of course, a lot of happenings this week in Picadillo. And Hank, I'd like you to weigh in. Let me check my old because I keep notes.
I'd love to hear from Hank.
I keep notes during the
Well,
week
thank you.
on what's going on. Now
Reinforces my confidence.
Now, old Charlie Skintz.
Oh, but Charlie's back in the news, isn't it?
Yeah, old Charlie Skintz, word has it, he drove up to Tennessee, came back with a new Basset Hound.
Well, that's Charlie for you, first and foremost. A new Basset Hound for Charlie. Now, I know that his wife had recently died, and Charlie's he's been as sad as the day gets long down here in Texas. So I don't mind him getting a new Basset Hound to fill the void of a wife that once existed. My only worry is that Charlie doesn't know right from wrong about taking care of a Basset Hound. Now
if I could finish,
I did not realize I was interrupting you mid-paragraph.
Charlie's Basset Hound, a hell of a hound. That's all I wanted to add to that. Now, right back to you.
That's fine. That's just fine. Happy to be a part of a Southern Jackson conversation. What I was seeing, and that does sound like a hell of a hound. The measurements, I read in the paper about the measurements of the hound, and from snout to tail, that's a big old boy. And I wonder if Charlie is able to handle a hound of that magnitude. Now, what are your thoughts on that, Squirt? Because last thing we want in Picadillo is a mangy hound.
Can I ask a question?
You sure can.
Can I ask a question?
Southern, you ask whatever you want.
How big from snout to tail, which I love as a new measurement of puppies. Snout to tail, this thing's going to be about 3 to 4 feet. Now, how big is that snout to tail again? I might have missed it. I need you to recap that like an old thunderstorm.
No problem. Let me put on my glasses. I have to read the article.
It was in fact front page news. Now, Southern, you're up there in Rock Bar, so you don't get the Picadillo Times.
North Rock Belt is where I'm from. It's a commune where we all believe in extreme feng shui. In case you forgot, you come in here, your things are ours, our things are yours. Put them where you want and get them behind the snake moat.
And Squirt.
Sorry, go ahead.
Southern. No, Squirt, no matter what they tell you, Southern Jackson is not running a cult out there in Rock Belt.
That's the thing.
The rumors you've heard.
And a lot of people down here in Picadillo are saying they're sharing everything. They got snake pits. They're praying to the earth on fire. We got to get some sort of Waco situation, Branch Davidian type deal. And me and Hank are down here in Picadillo saying, we know Southern. This is feng shui. This is not a cult. You don't know about the Eastern learnings, okay? This is why your minds aren't ready to accept. This ain't no cult,
No, we ain't got no guns.
Sure,
we ain't got no guns.
Sure, he has sex with every woman within the commune.
Now, don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do that. We don't have sex with each other. We just are into extreme feng shui. Okay. We don't have sex and we don't have guns. But what we do have is anyone who comes past the line, their things become mine. That's the rule. It says you get past the line, your things become mine. Southern Jack. Son.
All right, there it was. I was afraid the moment I talked, he was gonna yell and scream at me from the high hills.
Now, Hank, did you get the measurements?
Yes, I did.
Snap the tails.
Snap the tail, 7 feet on the hound. Now,
Ew.
Southern, if we can go
a 7-foot dog, snout the tail. I think that might be a crocodile.
That's what I mean. That's why I worry about Charlie. I think he's found himself the scaly wonderment of a crocodile, and he thinks it's a hound. And the man is so entrenched in sadness right now because of a recent mourning of his wonderful wife that we're gonna have a goddamn crocodile loose here on the good people of Picadillo.
Now, Hanky, let me ask you something, Hanky Panky. I now done did a Google search of Charlie's dog, and what I'm noticing here is this is 100% a crocodile that has fun sunglasses on and is in a dog Yoda costume. It's a crocodile, though. That is a crocodile. I tell you this.
See,
what? Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying here. I got a point I'm trying to make here.
Go right ahead. What? You done with the point?
I'm talking.
Oh my God! You know the spaces in between. It's impossible, really, to understand.
In the South, we take our time. Let me finish about this crocodile dog this guy's got.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it. Now I'm done. Now anyone else want to go?
Well, and that's what I worry about with Charlie. You know, of course, as Hank said, he's recently a widow, and as we all know, his wife's tragic passing was brought on by, he drove up to Alabama to get a purebred Siamese cat. He brought that thing back. Turned out to be 6 foot snout to tail. It was a Burmese python.
Oh, my God.
And it choked out his wife to death. And that's the thing with Charlie. He's easy to take. You know what I mean? You tell him a thing's a thing.
Ellis, since you're rudely interrupting me, can I ask you a question?
Of course you can ask me a question, man.
Well, by all means, Southern.
Since you think you could go one-on-one with a snout to tail, 6 foot Burmese python? You think you could do that?
Well, here's the thing. I have, and we fought to a draw. That's the thing. I couldn't take him. He couldn't take me. I got him by the tail. I started swinging him by my patented method. I started swinging him, but he was too heavy, and he's had the muscles as I was swinging him to curve, and he got a bit of a grip on my neck. And as I'm swinging him, he's gripping my neck, and I says to him, I got you, but you got me, boy. Now we can call it right here, or we can see who wins this thing out. And I said, if you want to call it, I'll call it a draw, and I will walk away, both the better man. And he said, I'll call it a draw, and we walked away. So could I take a Burmese python? I couldn't take one, but they couldn't take me. And that has happened. That's a true story. It happened 1987.
Now, if I could finish my original point, another way to kill a Burmese python is that my wife, she's a very cheap, very frugal, loves money, loves saving dollars. You know what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll just take a couple nickels, a satchel of nickels, right? And then I'll throw them inside the python. And then my cheap-ass wife will walk right into that python's mouth, grab the nickels. That's it. That's it.
Now,
I'm still going. I'm still going.
Oh, boy.
See, here's the thing. I got to say, Jackson, I got to say, and and God forbid I offend you in any type of way. But that time, you literally said, that's it. And that's a universally understood language for that's the end of what you were saying.
No, I was quoting my ex-love, Maritza. That's it. Is it it?
So Southern, what you mean? Oh boy. Okay. So Southern, what you was still in the middle of talking in that moment. So that in fact.
Yeah, I was trying to explain how to kill a snake the right way with using your cheap ass wife as bait. I'm done. I'm done talking about that piece, but I got more to say.
I
Well,
thought
hold
there
on.
might have been
Now,
a
go
twist.
ahead, Ellis.
Squirt.
Or Hank.
Hold on.
You keep calling me Ellis. I don't know where you got it from.
No, you ain't Ellis.
As far as I can tell,
Squirt.
what you've described was killing your wife, not the python.
Yeah, I thought that should have been addressed as well.
Nah, she is alive now. She lives inside of all of us. Like the Lord Jesus Christ. You gonna tell me the Lord Jesus Christ ain't alive and fresh? Jesus Christ lives in all of us. And so does my wife, who was eaten by a snake.
Now,
you don't know?
It's dangerous to talk when he finished talking.
I know. I know. It's the same. I feel the same, Squirt. I'm not sure.
I think it's very offensive that sometimes when I'm done talking, I'll just finish talking and you guys just look at me like I'm an idiot. That's crazy.
No, we're waiting. We're trying to be respectful of your draw.
No, that's not what's happening, because you interrupt me when I'm talking, and then when I'm done talking, nobody talks. No one's going to talk? Why are you interrupting me?
Oh, my God. I keep getting lashed for this, Squirt.
This is like a moat full of snakes, if you ask me. That's what
Now, go ahead. I'm done.
Now, Hank, I need you to talk for a while on a subject for me, because I know you're kind of the man about town. Now, as everyone knows, we don't have law enforcement in Picadillo, a little too small, but you sort of are known as the respected, basically people come to you with their problems, right?
Yes.
Now, the word is the widow Griffin's has got a coyote that's been breaking into a hen house, eating up them hens, eating up them eggs. Now, if you could talk for a while on what possible measures, now she doesn't have a man out there to build her a fence, nothing like that. What possible measures could the widow Griffin take to get this coyote, keep him out of the hen house?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked. There's a couple of measures, and I'm glad you mentioned that she doesn't have a man around to guard against the coyotes. One thing she can do is she can go down to the hardware store, maybe a novelty shop of any sorts, and get some sticky glue and some fine horsehair, and glue it onto her face and pretend to be a man. That way, the coyotes lulled into a false sense of masculinity, and the coyotes will not touch those hens as they think a man is guarding the territory. She can name herself Carl, Roger, I don't know. You go through a baby name book and you find the name that best suits your personality. Now that's one option.
Hey, can I ask a question about that object? Just about that option, I'd like to ask a question.
Go ahead, sir.
How tall you think she nose to toes? How big do you think this woman is?
Nose to toes, I'd say. Now we're talking about the widow Griffin, and I've seen her a couple times at quite a distance. And perspective does change your eyes quite a degree.
Sure. When she's farther away, she is smaller. When she is closer to you, she is taller.
There you go, Southern. Now you've got it. So I would say nose to toes. I mainly looked at her from a distance of, if I could say, about 10 or 12 steps in the mud.
Sure, Coles. 12 steps in the mud. That's how these Southern people talk.
I'd say she probably was about 5'3" tall.
5'3", nose to toes?
I think so. I say just about that, if my eyes don't deceive me.
Now,
so
can I ask? Well, Jackson,
I'm finished.
If I jump in?
I'm finished.
So that time you were finished.
Yeah, that time I was completely done with my thought.
No, I want to come back. I want to come back to Jackson because he's got a question. But I just want to.
I just want to interrupt you real quick and say that I am totally done with what I was thinking.
In order to get the full accurate,
impossible.
In order to get the full accurate measurements so that Jackson can form his opinion and question, what height is the widow Griffin, in your opinion, Hank?
Yes.
Nose to top of the head. Because when you go nose to toes, you're out on that part, so you got to add that in. That's as we all know, down here in the South, we go by nose to toes, and then we say how much you got above the nose, and we add that on.
Yeah. Oh,
in ounces of mud. How
Yeah.
much taller is she?
Yeah. The
Well,
standard.
we're talking about a Texas standard ounces of mud measurement. Standard, I'd say she's about maybe 4 to 6 ounces of mud and 1 jug of turpentine.
Okay. Now I think, Southern, I think you got all the information you need to formulate your question regarding the coyote.
Yeah, one more question, man. One more question here about dressing a woman like a coyote to make her think she's a man. Wait, hang on. Let me try to recap this. We're going to try to dress a woman like a coyote so the coyotes think she's a man. Is that what?
Well, no, that was not my...
where I'm wrong.
No problem, Southern. I hate to step on the other side of you. Now, first of all, she's dressing herself. We're not involved in the dressing process. That's the widow Griffin to do. She was going to dress like a man to intimidate the coyote. But hang on, though, Southern. Now, you might have just taken my idea, and you've taken my idea from a pot of wheat, and boy, you've grown a farm.
Well,
I think your idea is even better than mine.
Well, it's not that my idea is better, but what we do here in North Rock Belt is that we will dress women like coyotes to sing to the earth that's on fire as to it not be mad at us and bring us no water to our fields. So we do a similar thing, but I don't know if the coyotes are staying away because of that or because of the snake moat. So I can't really tell you if it'll work. I'm not done.
That time he actually wasn't. That time I really did interrupt him. That was a true case.
What actually funny is,
there we go.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was going to just say a playful witticism.
I'd love to hear it.
I was going to say, you shoot enough arrows into a tree, you're bound to hit the sumbitch sometime.
Yeah, and what I was actually trying to say when I screamed it, I'm not great with words sometimes. What I was trying to scream was, I am done. I actually was done, but I was so excited to hear you talk.
Well, before we get back to Hank's coyote solutions for the old widow Griffith, which we've got 2 fantastic solutions already, which I would like to say to any Texas Rangers, any federal authorities, anyone listening to the podcast, despite the what's yours is mine, despite the praying to the earth on fire, despite the snake moat, despite the dressing up all the women as coyotes and having them sing to the sun so that the sun will not harm them, Southern Jackson is not, I repeat, he is not the leader of a cult.
No,
he is
not a cult.
into feng shui. It is all about feng shui. So So do not get all riled up with what you hear. You're just not schooled in Eastern philosophy is what it is.
Also, come on in. You think you could get past the snake moat? I fucking dare you. That shit's 15 feet wide, 6 feet deep, over 10,000 snakes, and I feed them. I feed them my wife. I mean, what? She's with us in our hearts. Back to Hank.
Now, Southern.
Let me finish.
Oh, my God.
Back to Hank.
But wait. I'm sorry.
I like to say it twice.
My son in the stars. Now, Southern, just to reinforce the idea that you are not running some kind of an occult up there in North Rockville, is there an entry fee or anything like that to join your extreme feng shui gathering? Yeah,
it's not an entry fee per se, as some would say, we don't use cash here. What you need to do is, what do you say when you get to college boys and they all got to be doing a thing to see if they can get in the thing?
Hazing. They call that hazing.
So much hazing, but like a combine.
Like an NFL combine.
We do an NFL combine where you have to pass 3 tests of strength and to be in the extreme feng shui group. 1, 50-yard dash. You need to run from me. All right? If I catch you, you're out. I throw you in the snake mode. 2, you gotta bring your own coyote hair. All right? We don't have enough coyote hair to be gluing on all the women, so you gotta bring some coyote hair. So you have to track your own coyote, skin it, cut the hair, bring it in the bag. 3, if you can jump over the moat, you're in. The only way to get in is to jump over the 14 some odd mud steps in the mud. Mud steps, 14 mud steps. If you could jump over, you're in the house. Those are the 3 rules in the combine, the Jackson Southern Combine.
Wow, what a vast array of rules. One involves the purchasement of hair, and the other involves an impossible leap.
That's what we call it. You brought the hair. Can you make the impossible leap?
But I'd imagine by the time they get to 2, they think they've got it in the bag. But then comes old number 3, a 14-foot jump over ravenous snakes.
It's yeah, we got it from the original. I don't know if the Old Testament for us is the NES game Pitfall.
That tracks.
Now, all right, now, what were we? Now, we interrupted you originally. We were trying to get back to where we were, Hank Watson. Ellis, you have your hand raised. I feel like maybe you could put us back on Trizak.
Well, I think Hank has presented the widow Griffin with 2 fantastic options. 1, you can get yourself some horsehair and some glue, put a beard on your face, and intimidate them coyotes by them thinking there's a man about the ranch. 2, and this was inspired by Southern Jackson, you yourself can get some coyote hair, dress around like a coyote, howl at the moon, and then they're going to think, well, this hen house already taken. There already a coyote here.
Now we're living here.
Now, Hank, was that the gist of her solutions, or you got anything else to offer the old widow?
Oh, more or less. I mean, those are the basics of my ideas. The 3rd and 4th ideas are pretty. They're not so extraordinary. They're more just run-of-the-mill, everyday solutions to a difficult situation. She can move. That's right. She can pick up all her belongings and move to Denver, Colorado, somewhere pleasant.
Fairtown.
Yeah, I guess. And then number 4 is she can escape this black circle of torture that is life and put a shotgun to a temple and blow her brains out. Sky high.
Sure. Fans always, a lot of people in North Rock Belt take that option when they can't seem to make the impossible leap out of town. See, one thing, you make the impossible leap into town, you don't think about how you're going to get out of town, which is the impossible leap back out of town. You got to be able to make the jump twice.
Yep, sometimes it's tougher coming down the mountain than it is to climb it, and that's why you keep that glass jar full of shotguns with a sticker saying, "Try me."
Right.
Now, piece of business number 2, and this is the talk of the town. It is controversial. I don't stand for it, but of course, Jackson, I don't know if you've heard about this up your way, but of course, Hank's more than familiar with it. Scooter Tusk, the tech billionaire, of course, he invented, he's doing all them scooter shares they're doing everywhere. These big towns, they're leaving scooters all over the town. Now, I don't know how any money is made via this, but they're leaving the scooters everywhere you look. They put around about 6,000, 7,000 scooters. Next thing you know, this guy's a billionaire. Now, I don't know if Scooter is his given name, but Scooter Tusk, he moved into town, about south of town, bought a 60,000-acre ranch. Now, he's bringing in, he's important, a Japanese Kobe Wagyu beef. Okay, now, as you know, Picadillo known. We got a Texas Longhorn. Okay, we got a Black Angus. We got a Red Angus. We got a heifers for the milk. Okay, but we don't mess around with none of these foreign cattle. Okay, now Scooter's coming in here with his big money, flashing it around town, his big money, and his Japanese Kobe Wagyu beef, gonna put our beef out of business. Now, what do we do about that, boys? What do we do about that?
Well, I can tell you a solution, and I can tell you a problem. Which do you want to hear first?
I think
both at the same time in some kind of autistic mashup.
Great. Now, Scooter landed his old $1 million helicopter into the center of my damn town, bypassing the impossible jump. And so I said, now how am I going to take this? Am I going to be happy or am I going to be sad? Then he came out and presented all my coyote women with fandangled new leather dresses, all wet and greasy. Now I said, is this man my enemy or is this man my friend?
hard to tell.
I'm sorry, I was talking.
I know that was an add-on. That was not an interruption. That was an add-on. That was an add-on during the pause.
Right.
Yeah, that's
sorry that I have
icing on a cake.
Now, what do I do with these hot, new, wet leather dresses? I'll tell you one thing, they're so tight that when I try to, when I jam them on the women, all that glued hair, coyote hair starts to come off. Now I have to start thinking, is this now part of my culture? Because them leather dresses look good. They're wet and they're greasy, but now there's hair everywhere. It's in my mouth and in my eyes. Now I'm done. That's it.
My God, so I've never seen a man take a question and make it his own so much that you forget the original question you do. My God, I'm not even sure what Squirt asked you in the beginning of that.
You should say both. That's both.
I see what you did.
Solution and problem.
What he has done, Hank, and this is
my apologies.
North Rock Belt, we have a ways about ourselves up here.
This is what a man,
type.
Hank. You're but a rough and tumble storm chaser.
There we go.
And all I am is just a lowly cattle rancher. We don't understand the mind of a feng shui master. For a man like you and I to get inside the mind of Southern Jackson would be like entering an impenetrable maze of delight. And so what he's done is I've asked him to solve the problem of Scooter Tusk's importing the cattle. And what he's done he's presented us with a completely unrelated, unrelated and unhelpful anecdote.
We talking Scooter Tusk is the one who dropped in all these hot greasy leather dresses. If that doesn't solve your problem about old Scooter Tusk, I don't know what to do. Because the man came to my home in a helicopter and presented us with greasy, wet leather dresses.
Well, what seems to have happened is you brought up another problem about Scooter Tusk.
Is it a problem?
That's the thing.
That's the problem. Now I got all these women in hot, wet leather dresses, but I don't got them looking like coyotes. I don't know what the sun god is going to say about this. It's a goddamn new day.
Let me ask you this, because maybe it is, Hank, maybe it's more related than I thought.
Yeah,
Southern?
Perhaps we could not see the end game here.
Southern?
I mean, if you let me finish talking, you'd hear it. But
this time I got to insist. You literally said you were done. You literally said
you were done. Did I say I was done or did I say that's it?
You said you were done this time. I'm almost positive. Hank,
I haven't heard the word "that's it" fly out of your mouth in a little bit of time now. Well, and I remember because that is a trigger. So I remember that.
Well, then suck my left nipple. I don't know. Maybe I misspoke. Call me a sissy boy, please.
Now,
I
once
will
again,
not.
Did you want us to call you that, or was that a rhetorical
That's old
question?
North Belt saying. It means I'm sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, now Scooter Tusk, he up and dropped these wet, greasy dresses in your midst, and then he up and left. Is that what I'm to understand?
No, he's still here. He comes in and he comes out. The man knows how to get past the impossible jump with the helicopter, of course. So he's kind of got free reign to leave and come as he wants. And plus, he keeps bringing more dresses. So, it's kind of doing all right by us over here. You know what I mean?
So you have no problems with him bringing the foreign Wagyu beef into Picadillo, Texas?
The beef is not really so much as my issue. It's the wet leather dresses that is too tight for the women that is living here.
You seem to be hung up on that. What is the issue? What's the root of the problem?
Well, the root of again, I'll repeat, the root of the problem is that I must dress my women like coyotes to appease the earth, the burning earth.
Right, that's right. Right? How dumb of me.
These tight leather dresses, when you're pulling them down, it scrapes all the glued hair that it took me so long to glue on them right off their bodies. And now I'm worried, is the burning earth god, is he going to find vengeance on me? Is he going to release the snakes from the moat? Is it going to bring back the second coming of Jackson? I don't know.
Well, it's certainly up in the air. What
have I gotten too far off the point?
No, you haven't. You've just introduced another striking situation.
Right, but we can get back to Kobe beef. I do like Kobe beef, if that was the question.
Well, I would say it's not so much that you got off the point. It's that you never even got close to the point. But that is 100% okay. We're here to discuss the issues of the region. And what you have brought up is what I would think is a bigger issue, in fact. Now,
exactly.
Hank, hear me out on this, and maybe you can join in. What if, now Scooter's a tech man, you know. He's not familiar with our southern ways, but he is. Obviously, he's got a brain that works in some sort of different ways, because he figured out how to make money by leaving scooters all over the place. Because I don't know what that's about. I tried that with Oreo cookies, and ain't nothing happened. You know, I left them all over town. I left Oreos everywhere.
I remember that. You tried to do an Oreo share.
Yeah, and people just ate them.
Take a bite, drop it off.
Yeah, people just ate them.
And they go on. They go on the app and they go, oh, there's a half-eaten Oreo around the corner that's got my name on it.
I thought that would be big money, but nobody even had a smartphone. So they were just finding Oreos and eating them. But what about this? Now, what if we take Scooter's brain, his this technological brain, what if we get a way that he could, we say, look, Scooter, you want to come into Southern Jackson's town? Okay, you come into his town. But there's a very important element of that town, and that's the women dressed as coyotes howling at the burning earth, some call the sun, to avoid it from killing us. Now, and when he put these too tight, greased up, wet leather dresses on them, it's taking the coyote hair off. Now, nobody is arguing against the greased up dresses, because I'll be honest, as I could tell from Southern's inflection, they ain't too bad on the old peepers. You know what I mean?
They definitely look good.
I've got an image in my head.
The only issue with the long leather dress is the goddamn hot sun, but you know, that's for another day.
That's for another day. Now, what if Scooter? Because they say, Scooter, you want to keep coming into this town? You need to redesign these dresses with some sort of zipper implement so that they can be pulled up from the bottom, and hence, therefore, not ripping the coyote hair that's been glued on.
Or just come with your own glue and glue them on the ends of the dress. You know, I put the hair on the back of the dress. You know what I mean? Glue the hair to the dress. Glue the hair to the dress.
Yeah, glue the hair to the dress.
That sounds good to me. Glue the hair to the dress.
Glue the hair to the dress. Glue the hair to the dress.
Point easily followed.
Now, let me ask y'all a question, if you don't mind. If I ask a question to you all, you all join, when y'all ready, maybe y'all join me in a nice North Rock Belt Southern prayer.
Of course, I'm always ready to pray to whoever I got to pray to ensure my cattle gives a good return this year.
We're going to pray to the first Jackson. You know, I took his name as leader of the Rockport Northern extreme feng shui housing community. Now, repeat after me, if you will do.
Repeat after me, if you will do.
Repeat after me, if you will do.
If you will do.
If you will do.
Southern Jackson.
Southern Jackson.
The only listener to the burning earth, his
o-
holy hell.
The only listener to the burning earth, his holy hell.
Make our couches look nice.
Make our couches look nice.
Our paintings point north.
Our paintings point north.
And dear God, give me the strength to outrun Jackson and to make the impossible jump with my children as to live better to my final days.
And dear God, give me the strength to outrun Jackson and make the impossible leap with my children to live better days.
.com. Thank you, boys. That was great. That was a nice Southern North Belt prayer to His Holiness me, Southern Jackson.
Thank you. And that, my friends, has been the Picadillo, Texas cattle and livestock and assorted scuttlebutt podcast roundup for this week. Again, you can find us. We're not available on any podcast apps. You got to come. You got to find either me or Hank. And we got it. We do have one shared thumb drive between the two of us, and we can get that to you. You got to download it and give it back. But that is how you get your hands on the podcast. Now, but you boys got anything to plug? Hank, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, I've been doing my storm recaps at stormrecap.com.org for all your latest storm recap news. I got a doozy out now about a dunder over the Corpus Christi Prairie.
Very nice.
And Jackson, Southern Jackson, and remember, listeners, a lot of people like to assume Jackson is spelled Jackson, and that is not the case. It's Southern Jack.
Capital S.
It's Southern Jack dash.
Lowercase j. Uppercase S.
And it's Jack hyphen S-U-N. Jack hyphen son. Now, anything to plug, Southern Jackson?
Right, we all know every Thursday at sundown, we have, if y'all want to come down and try to make the impossible jump, bring some running shorts. I'll give you a nice chase. And, try to launch yourself over that moat. It's every Thursday at sundown. See what you got. Join the clan. So
may your wife live on in all our hearts. May your wife live on in our hearts.
Can I just... and this will be the last thing I say on the podcast. Just maybe rethink the phrasing and join the clan.
Oh, right. It's funny. We've been saying that for a few years, and no one seemed to mention that. Yeah, clearly that is going to run some issues. We run afoul of what those people do. We are a more of a clan like we're not a clan. We're a gathering of friendly people who can all jump 14 feet across a moat filled with snakes.
No, and I've heard, and if I can back you up on that, I've heard you say time and time again, your snakes will kill and eat a person of any race, creed, or color. Is not something that occurs to you. Your snakes are murderous regardless.
They'll murder you viciously as long as you got flesh. They aren't like other snakes which will bite you and then swallow you whole. These things will grab you both by the arms and laugh and rip you apart like they're crazy motherfuckers down there. So if you think you can make the jump, you better know. We suggest getting a piece of chalk in the street and marking 14 feet and doing that 7 times before attempting the impossible jump. If you don't get it enough times, don't make the impossible jump. You know what I mean? Like, just use your brain, people. Don't come out here like you think you could do. Yeah, make the chalk outline. Also, know that you can beat me in a race because, again, rule 1 is I'm going to chase you down. I'm going to chase you down and throw you in the pit. So make sure you can outrun someone who is as fast as me and make sure you can jump over 2 car lengths. Easy.
And I should add, and we got to get out of here, but I should add, be sure you want to live there, because if you don't, you got to jump back out. And that's right. And it's a bit lower on the other end. So the jump in's easier than the jump out. You know, that's the other thing people don't consider.
We have a website. Check out the photos I posted on the website. Make sure you want to come here before you make the jump. It's not a trick. You know, I have 4K pictures on the website. You can scroll down. You can get a lot of, you know, we have a client, you know, we have people who live here. They've written up little write-ups. You know what I mean? So just make sure you can make the 14 feet jump again. Try jumping over a couple Chevys before you try it here. Make sure you can outrun me and check the website. Make sure you want to live here.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And this is certainly just reveal my ignorance as a cattleman. But when you say you got 4K pictures on the website, do you mean you have 4,000 pictures, or the pictures are in 4K resolution, or
they
both?
are in 4K resolution, but we have 4,000 pictures of the same couch. This is my favorite couch. I just spent a whole day snapping. And I said, I cannot choose which one is the best. And my old wife, before God rest her soul, said, put them all up. We got the hard drive space. Put them all up. And I said, you right. And then I fell into a snake.
And that's been the podcast. So be sure to rate, and by rate, I mean if you run into any of the three of us, just tell us what you think about it. You can subscribe by you send a postcard through Western Union to either me, Hank, or Southern. You send a postcard, we'll then send you a postcard back. You've got to forward that postcard with $1 to 10 different individuals, and through that method, you will eventually get $1,000 back. And that is how you subscribe to the podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will see you again next week.